Hey YouTubers, it's James Robert Webb, and first I just want to thank you for subscribing, because most of you, let's face it, are probably subscribers, and that's why you see my videos, and thanks for commenting on them and sharing them and liking them and all that stuff. So, because what else would I be doing? I mean, I wouldn't be putting videos on YouTube if it wasn't for you guys. So thanks for everybody that's subscribing. And this is the night before my song Six Strings and the Truth gets released on iTunes. We've had it out on pre-order and been really blessed and lucky that we got in the top 10 on the iTunes pre-order charts. So some of you may know that. And anyway, you know, that's a nice cherry on top. It's a nice, great thing to have. But for me, it's about the song. You know, it's about the music. And as a writer and an artist, I really like to make songs that speak to me, and both lyrically and musically. And so I was going to talk a little bit about Six Strings and the Truth. It's a song that really, I wrote it by myself, and one that kind of came to me fairly quickly as an idea. And part of it was the lyrics, and part of it is kind of the playing around with a drop D. So if you're into guitar, it's a drop D tuning. So you have basically the typical E, A, D, G, E, or I left out the B, the standard tuning. But if you drop the big E string down to a D, just gives a little bit more bass, and does change some of the chord structure. But it's common in a lot of rock songs. Like a lot of Seeger, or even like Hank Williams Jr. does that. Aldine, I mean, a lot of people use it. Sometimes it gets overdone, but it was really used in a lot of as an alternate tuning, just to kind of, because it sounds different, I think is why people gravitated to it as writers and guitarists and people in bands. And it was big in a lot of the alternative 90s music too. Plus it's also kind of easy to play power chords on if you have a music theory background on that. So, but I won't bore you with the music theory. But the lyrics were just really. It starts out, he's about song, all his songs, and every word they sing along, but they don't know that he saved his best for last. So for me, that's kind of like the idea of, everybody's been to a concert where you're just into it, and it's just amazing, and the experience is great, and they come out in an encore and just blow you away. And I love that. I mean, I've seen so many acts that have done that. And I can even think of when I was a kid and going to concerts, the way people perform on stage, or and the way they treat you afterwards, that can really affect how you view them. And so it's always interesting, because the songs have a life of their own, but then the artist can add to that. And I think if I was going to say this song is about one person, it's probably, I think it's probably about Chris Stapleton or Garth Brooks, because they just have such stage presence. Those guys are, just killer. And they're different. I mean, Chris Stapleton obviously became huge by being true to himself, and, just being who he was, and not trying to shave his beard and do bro country and all that, and all that stuff. And that's why people respond to it, because he's authentic. Also, I think of Johnny Cash. I mean, Johnny Cash is a person who, and everybody name drops Johnny Cash, which just irritates me to no end, really. But Johnny Cash was one of those few people that were like really legends, and they had that stage persona. And there's a line from Honky Tonk Revival, the title track on my album that's coming up, that is, the first time I ever heard Johnny Cash, man, it really changed my life. Or the first time I ever heard The Man in Black. And really that really kind of sums it up, because if you think about Folsom Prison or Boy Named Sue, or one of those songs, the first time you ever heard it, Johnny Cash had a different sound. And that was the thing to me about him, is that he was also who he was. He was confident in himself as an artist and a singer, and then try to, bend that to be more popular with people. And then one of my other heroes, really, I say a lot of times he's my adopted grandfather, is Willie Nelson. And Willie Nelson is almost kind of an example of that, in that he was a successful Nashville songwriter, and wrote huge hits, Crazy by Patsy Cline, and Nightlife that Ray Price made famous, and all these huge hits. And there's a video of him on the Opry, all buttoned up in turtleneck and everything, playing these songs. And And it's really, for me, of course, I wasn't around back then, but for me, what I'm most interested in Willie Nelson is the stuff after he left Nashville and kind of, I guess, became more true to himself or whatever. And I guess that's where they kind of got a lot of that outlaw brand of just forget about what's glossy and commercial and shiny and just, do the truth and just try to represent yourself as authentically as you can. So for me, that's really what the song Six Strings and the Truth is about. It's not necessarily, some people think it's a song about a song or a song about a musician or whatever, but I think most of the listeners get it because I don't really like songs about, songwriting or whatever. But this is more, to me, is more about being true to yourself and who you are and not changing that. So another line in Six Strings and the Truth is playing what they say is out of style, but he starts to strum and the crowd goes wild because, really, since I got into music, I always hear these camps of people that debate, especially in country, is that it's too traditional or it's not traditional enough or it's too pop or whatever. To me, it really comes down to it's either good or a bad song, and it's good or bad music. So I don't really think in those terms. I mean, I think I have to write songs that speak to me, that resonate with me, that I'm going to enjoy listening to the rest of my life, and hopefully somebody else will too. So to me, that's what the song Six Strings and the Truth is about, and it's coming out on iTunes and all those places tomorrow, and I hope you enjoy it. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're a subscriber, double thanks for subscribing to my channel, because otherwise there wouldn't be a reason for me to be on here. So all 187 of you, you guys are really awesome. So thanks for commenting and watching these. Tell me in the comments below what you'd like me to talk about, other aspects of songwriting, if you want me to share you more about lyrics, the background and that kind of stuff, or just let me know what you want to know, and I'll try to put a video out on it. And if you have some covers you'd like me to do, let me know, and I will try to do that as well. In the meantime, I'd really appreciate it if you're not a subscriber, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to share it with your friends, or even just give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, it would be really cool if you subscribe and click that little subscribe button. And for those of you that have listened to this video this long, then you probably want to make sure that you click the little bell beside the subscribe button, because that'll let you know, it'll send a notification when I post something new. And I'll try to keep it real here for you. Outlaw, I guess, even though I don't think of myself as an outlaw because I'm a doctor, So it's all about being true to who you are and being true to yourself and whatever you're doing. So I appreciate you all out there listening in, and until next time,